guys, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. We're still here in Dallas, and we're having an awesome, fabulous time. You know, we just thank them for the opportunity that we're actually part of the media outlets that they have here. We actually have a lot of more things for you to see. I mean, it's just amazing. It's so much to learn, to gain, to empower you, that guess what? You can walk out your destiny. And that's the main dream and mission of the actual event, and just really the life, actually the legacy, Bishop T.D. Jakes. But just what? You need to sit back and relax and share with your friends and family and let us know what you think. You know how to get in contact with us. But you know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday.
Never let it go. after we start to talk about this weekend, oh my God, so many wonderful things about Jesus. So many wonderful events have taken place and transpired, exchanged lives and moved people from the background to the forefront, and just so many splendiferous colors and array of glory have been on display here over the last several days. So many multifaceted ideas have been presented to us, whether you're a budding entrepreneur, seasoned entrepreneur, whether you're a seasoned man or woman, whether you're a teen or just a wee tot, God has prepared a table for us. And who but a multifaceted chef could prepare such a menu? It would have to come from the mind of an individual that's not flat in his thinking. But when you look at him, he is a prism. You can see the entrepreneur side, the philanthropic side, the humanitarian side, the bishop, the man, the husband, the daddy, the spiritual father, the bishop of bishops, the preacher of preachers, and I would dare say the only man in the world that will always have my heart. And that means whether I'm by his side or if for some reason we should have to part ways, he will always be the man of God that brought life to this dying little country girl. I would sit in the back of the church when he was a young preacher, and I would watch him toil and labor. And I was a relatively new convert, and I thought, that God that he's preaching about, I want to know him. I want to know him. And I want to know him in such a real and life-changing way. Little did I know that the multifaceted man would walk into my life and change me completely. I got a little bit more grace, a little bit more graceful. I received new mercy and I gave new mercy. I received hope and I started speaking hope because he whispered in my ear, you're more than you think you are. You're more. He's my pastor. He's my bishop. And he is the chef that has prepared this wonderful buffet for all of us to come and dine. I love him. I respect him. And with that same reverence and honor, I would like to welcome to the stage for our final meal, the Honorable Bishop Thomas Dexter.
Together and give the Lord some praise in this house. Or you can do better than that. Give God some praise in this house. While you're standing, and listen, I don't know, because everybody had a different experience. It was amazing last night to be in this room right here where Pastor Joseph Prince challenged us in such an amazing way. And then Pastor Hannah came behind him. What I really enjoy is showing how many different ways God can use people. I find that most churches get stuck into one tone. And one of the biggest mistakes the disciples ever made is whenever Jesus showed up in a different form, they had trouble recognizing him. And what I want you to see is that from a Pastor Hannah in Chicago to a Pastor Prince in Singapore, that there could be the same spirit and different administrations of that spirit, because to be narrow-minded is a curse. I went back in the back. We have like different screens whereby we can see what's going on in the different places. And some people were in prayer, and some people were getting teaching, and some people were at the comedy show. So when you get on the plane, you're gonna have a lot to talk about depending on what you went to see. There are also the events. We had a youth entrepreneurial contest this morning that was very powerful. We had several challengers to enter into a challenge. Junior high school age kids primarily pursuing an entrepreneurial grant that would go up to $50,000, $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000 increments. And watching those kids compete, the finalists came down here to compete, and we had all of these different CEOs and presidents of college challenging these young minds about their business, and these young people began to compete. Now, that's not normally the sort of thing that goes on in church. But if you're going to have a ministry that really challenges the whole person to transform a community, we can't just shout and talk in tongues. We have to meet people where they are on every level. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that the church has to be relevant, and we have to be the salt of the earth. And Jesus didn't leave us in the world to be autonomous from the world, but rather to affect the world. We are the salt of the earth, a city set up on a hill that cannot be hid. And I just want to ask you, I don't know what you went to, I don't know whether you were at the film festival, I don't know whether you were at the comedy shows, or whether you just hung around the spiritual elements, but if in any way God changed your life this weekend, give him the best praise. Hallelujah. 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 Glory to God. You may be seated in his presence. His ideas were controversial. And the seers and the sages of the age did not welcome him. He was a radical. He was a revolutionary. He was out of the box and he didn't fit. We would expect him to upset Rome. And the Jews had been praying that somebody would upset Rome, that they would regain the power and the influence given to their city. But the one that God sent upset the Jews as well. The very people who prayed that he would come rejected him when he came. He had no place to lay his head. Being Jesus was lonely. Being Jesus was complicated. Being Jesus was difficult. I wouldn't expect Caesar or Augustus or Herod or any of the hierarchy of the upper echelon of Rome to welcome him. I wouldn't expect that, but I would have thought that the priests, or the Sadducees, or perhaps the Pharisees would have been glad to see Jesus, but the truth of the matter is Jesus had no place to lay his head. To hook up with Jesus was to be marked as a scoundrel and an idiot and a fool by your own family your friends, and your kin. And it took courage to walk with Jesus, because Jesus was not well liked. It was only a small quorum of people that believed in him at all. And in order to walk with Jesus, there were things required of the men that are difficult for men to give up. Their job, their livelihood, their influence was all compromised to walk with Jesus. The businessmen had to put their business on hold. That's not easy to do. The thing that they had been trained to do, not by universities, but through mentoring all of their lives, was now compromised. People like Peter, who had not only a boat, but a fleet of boats around him, had turned into a chauffeur service. Maintaining 12 disciples on the road, some with families, wasn't easy. That's why Jesus had Judas. You don't have a treasurer if you don't need money. I've never met a person on welfare who had an accountant. So excuse me for just thinking a little bit that if Jesus had one man whose responsibility was to count the money, I kind of think he must have had something to count. I don't read where Judas wrote any books or started any churches or turned any water into wine. Jesus had one guy to count the money, and that guy he could not trust. It was lonely to be Jesus. And most of the people who came to Jesus took more than they gave. After all, they were second-class citizens in their own country. Many of them didn't have much to give in the first place. They were an oppressed people. And Jesus was the leader of an oppressed people. That's why the Romans mocked him and made a crown out of thorns and spat in his face and pulled his beard out of his face and laughed and called him the King of the Jews, the King of the oppressed, the forsaken, and the rejected. It was hard to walk with Jesus. It's easy to walk with a leader when other people like him. Oh yeah, when he's popular, it's easy. It's hard to walk with a leader when you're being ridiculed at the barbershop and the beauty shop, and all of your cousins and neighbors are thinking you have lost your mind because you still go to that church. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk to me. It's easy to sustain a ministry that's popular because you have resources, but when a ministry is not popular, resources are hard to come by. Jesus had a treasure, but where is the treasure? The Bible gives us little glimpses into how Jesus sustained his ministry. There were some women in the Bible, Joanna and Susanna and others that were there because they believed in the radical, the ridiculous Jesus, the unsanctimonious Jesus, the Jesus who broke the rules and worked on the Sabbath, the Jesus whose disciples didn't even wash their hands, the radical Jesus that was kicked out of synagogues, Jesus.
Come on.
Jesus who hung out with wine bibbers. There were rumors about Jesus, still are. There's still rumors about him.
Yes, sir.
And there were definitely rumors in his lifetime. He hung out with the wrong people. It didn't look right. Because church people want you to look right. It doesn't matter that some of them that look right ain't right. They just want you to. What's he doing talking to her? Why is he hanging out with him? Doesn't he know she's a slut? What? got 12 people on the road and a handful of supporters and thousands of hungry people. Thousands of people pulling at him, wanting something from him. Wanting his face, wanting his time, wanting his touch, wanting his attention, wanting his ministry, wanting his message. And even amongst the people who were with him, there were debates. Who's going to sit on the right side? Who's going to sit on the left? And I think he should be promoted. I think he should not be promoted. And all of that was going on around Jesus. Jesus said, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay your head. There were few places where Jesus could turn in and get a good meal, a good night's sleep, and be welcomed and be appreciated. And when he came to Bethany, there was that environment for him. These two girls, sisters, Mary and Martha, and their brother Lazarus, provided a place for Jesus to get some rest. They didn't ask anything of Jesus. They wanted a few people who gave to Jesus. When you're somebody that everybody takes from, somebody who gives to you, that's an amazing thing. When you're a person that no matter how much you give, people just want more and more and more and more, for somebody to come along and act like you matter is intoxicating. Mary and Martha and Lazarus were so much that way that they became the friends of Jesus. Wow, how cool is that? To be the friend of Jesus. That's an amazing thing. I never will forget the day my spiritual father was up talking about something and he called me his son. I was used to that. And then he called me his friend and I almost started crying. Because I didn't know he saw me as his best friend. And one day the son became a friend. That's an amazing thing. To be the friend of Jesus. Y'all like that, ain't that? I'm not thinking about you. You know, if Jesus showed up and said, out of all these people in the room, that lady over there is my friend, you know you would flip your wig. You would come out of your clothes and he said, that brother over in the corner is my friend. I mean the friend of Jesus. There are people bragging about being my friend. They blow their mind over there to be the friend of Jesus. Mary and Martha and Lazarus was the friend of a lonely man, and there is no kind of friend like the friend of a lonely man. The friend of a drained man. The friend of a man who was on the hit list of hell. The friend of a man who is trying to start a revolution that would change the world, and bickering is all around him. They were a place where he could lay his head. Whenever he came to Bethany, he stayed with them. There are a few people in this world that I would want to stay in their house. I'm being honest. Not because of how nice it is or not nice, it's just that I like to be comfortable. I like my own space. I want to wear what I want to wear. I want to get up when I want to get up. I want to go to bed when I want to go to bed. I don't want nobody telling me, breakfast is ready. I'm not ready. Rapidly, a dinner is on the table. One of the great things about being me, I don't have to stay in nobody's house no more. I grew up staying in people's houses. You had to eat when they said to eat. You had to go to bed when they said to go. You had to watch whatever they were watching on TV. There was only one TV in the house, if they had a TV. One man put me in his daughter's bed. There I'm 275 pounds, sleeping in a little girl's canopy bed, curled up like a woman. I don't want to stay with you. And it doesn't matter how nice it is, because my idea of comfort is at the point I'm so comfortable, I can walk in your house and go in your refrigerator and not feel funny okay to be me. You gotta have some red hot. Some of y'all don't even know what that is. That's why I'm not staying over there. If you don't know what red hot is, I'm not staying at your house. Jesus went to a house that had red hot. It was his hangout spot. It was the place where nobody pulled at him. And they were well off enough not to need him. To be able to have an extra room was a sign of wealth and influence and affluence. And the fact that their names are mentioned in the Bible says that they were of affluence. And every now and then God assigns you somebody who can help you. Glory to God. Excuse me, I almost want to dance on that part right there. Both my knees started jumping up and down right there. Amidst all the people who need your help, every now and then God will send somebody in your life who can help you so that you don't go bankrupt. Mary, Martha, and Lazarus was a place. They never asked Jesus for nothing. They always fed him. They always fed him so he could help those other people. Because when you're healthy and when you're wealthy and when you've got a good job and when you've got good resources, you have a tendency to think, I'm good. I'm good. And they like to hear him teach because he'd sit around at dinner. And you know how preachers do at dinner. We preach. The preacher the other night was talking about how Martha would sit down at his feet, you know, and Mary was trying to make everything happen. And I can understand why you would sit at Jesus' feet. It wouldn't be nothing clean in the house if Jesus came to stay with me. Because all I would want to do is just sit up and say, and then what happened? And what did you mean when you said so and so and so and so and so? And I never understood this part about this over here. Tell me what was going on the road to Emmaus and the 7-mile stretch of you know. So they know how to have those late nights of hanging out with Jesus, listening at him talk. That was cool.
Hi, you guys. This is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. I know you don't have to say anything. You've had an awesome, a fabulous, a marvelous time, right? It's just amazing when people come together to help impact and influence people to move forward in their destiny. And that's what happens every event that Bishop T.D. Jakes puts on. You know, the thing about it, God has really put great vision in him. Guess what? God has put great vision in you as well. So I know you've enjoyed this. So make sure you show it to your friends and family. Also, please contact us if you need us. Our website is www.reneesunday.com. We love you, love you, love you. This is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. See you next time. Bye-bye.